Hey everyone, welcome back to ATX VGC. You're here tonight for our Monday Night Friendlies. Here with me hosting the Monday Night Friendlies, we have, as always, the wonderful Roller Coaster and our very own Nibs Plays Games down below. So, are y'all super excited? We are winding down here. These are our last couple of friendlies in Series 6. Are y'all getting excited for Series 7?
Yes, very much so.
For Series 7.
Yeah, we've got a little special treat tonight. Nibs, do you want to talk about the 3 sets that we're going to be having?
Yeah, so we are actually going to have two matches tonight that are going to reflect the rule set of the Battle of Legends tournament that is going to be held by Pokemon this weekend on the Switch. That's very exciting. And then our third battle, I don't know the exact order, but one of the matches will be Series 6, which we will still be playing in for the next 2.5 weeks, I guess, until Series 6 is over. And just to plug that real quick while we're talking, Series 6, we have in Texas VGC Discord, we have our 4th and final qualifier, and then we have the finals coming up next week, so pretty exciting stuff there. I'm very excited.
Yeah, super exciting. We don't actually have a link right now for the next tournament. It looks like that is not available yet. Hasn't been made yet for Battlefy. But that'll be this upcoming Wednesday night, right?
Yes, it will be.
Awesome. And we have the winner of the third one here with us, or the second one, I'm sorry. Week 2 of Roller Coaster. Yeah. So, also, another fun exciting thing, we now have 2 emotes on the channel. So if y'all are subscribed, you get a chance to spam these very cool emotes. They are ATX Hype and ATX Rocks, so y'all should check those out. In the chat. There we go, Nibs spamming on.
So happy we have a Scorch emote.
Yep, we have a Scorch getting crushed by a rock slide.
He'll survive, I know it.
Yep.
It's Chardy Berry.
It's Chardy Bear, he'll make it.
So, with that, do y'all want to go ahead and get rolling with our very first battle?
Sure, I think we have Sir Wilson is going to be playing who, Gemma?
He's going to be playing Adam Santaco, so we have our very first Battle of Legends of the night. So, if y'all give us just 1 second, we'll be right back with that, and it will be myself and Roller Coaster commentating. So, we will see y'all in 1 second. Alright, and we're back. Super exciting here. We've got Roller Coaster. We're going to be viewing this battle from Sir Wilson's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And there we have game feed. Awesome.
Okay, perfect. Should we start talking about the teams a little bit now?
Yeah, let's take a peek. I know that as VGC players, a lot of these Pokemon look familiar, but there are 2 glaring examples of things that I'm not quite sure I've ever played against competitively.
Yeah, so Will's got pretty standard Excadrill, Arcanine, Amoonguss, Lapras, Bravery. You know, you got solid Fire, Water, Grass there. Excadrill's an all-around strong Pokemon. Lapras gets the screens up, Amoonguss does amazing pressure work, and Bravery, it has good speed control. And then Zamazenta, or no, not that, sorry, I misspoke. Zacian, which has Intrepid Sword, which will boost its attack by 1 stage whenever it enters battle.
Yeah, which is kind of busted in and of itself when you consider with the crown, or with the Rusted Sword as a crown form, it's already sporting one of the highest base attacks in the entire game.
It's also faster than Dragapult, which has been like the main speed threat this whole time, like this format. Something that's super interesting. Well, okay, I guess I'll talk about Adam's team a little bit real quick.
Yeah, for sure.
Tyranitar, Excadrill, obviously the Sand Duo, solid thing. Then that's not Litton, Torcat. It's Torcat.
Yeah, it's a Torcat.
Torcat, who's seen like on and off usage ever since Incineroar got legalized here. Like some people opt it because it's a bit faster and it doesn't have the dark typing. I don't know if that really benefits any. It's one less fighting weakness.
Yeah, and I know that Adam Santakos has been known for using Torracat in previous matchups, even when Incineroar was available before the culling of the Series 6 Pokemon. He really likes the fact that it gets access to most of the same moves that Incineroar does, but is significantly faster and has a higher base special attack. So you can actually be either a mixed attacker or go for an overheat into your opponent.
Yeah. And then Starmie, which I'm not entirely sure what Starmie can do. I know it gets access to Meteor Beam, so potentially like Whiter Meteor Beam or something like that. Ditto, which, okay, so this is something interesting. When Ditto does Imposter, it copies all the stat boost and decrease of its opponent and then triggers the ability.
Yeah.
So that means if Ditto comes in and copies the Zacian, it'll have the +1 that Zacian already has, and then trigger its own new Intrepid Sword and be +2 to beat the opposing Zacian.
Yeah, and typically Dittos a lot of times will run Choice Scarf so that they can guarantee be faster as well.
Did you see Will's song choice?
Oh no, I missed it.
He picks Zacian and Zamazenta.
Such a great option here where we have perhaps a preview of VGC 2021, 2022? No, 2022, definitely not 2021.
Yeah, 2022.
Yeah.
Will killing it with the song choice.
Exactly. You see in the chat, Nibs pointing out that Torracat did win the Pokemon Multi-Battle League in a team that he and Sir Wilson piloted in the final game, and Nibs and I played a good chunk of that regular season together. So this is an interesting matchup where you've got two different Excadrills on either side. Only one of those sides has access to Intimidate, I'm sorry, no, because Torracat also has Intimidate. Already forgetting everything about Torracat.
Yeah, so have Intimidate. Will has a Defiant user,
the
which potentially could come up big for him. And we actually didn't talk anything about Zamazenta. So far, everyone's kind of considered it to be the weaker of the two. It's more defensive. Its move pool isn't as impressive, but it's still very strong. And I'm curious to see if it's able to like win the 1v1 versus Zacian.
Yeah, it's very similar ability to Zacian, where it boosts its defense by 1 stage when it enters the field.
Dauntless Shield, I believe it's called.
Yeah, exactly. This is assuming that they're both the crown forms. I guess they could be the other form. Which, do they have a different ability when they're the other forms?
No. They only have the one ability.
Okay. So
they gain the steel typing when they're in the crown form.
That's right. And
Zacian is normally just fairy, Zamazenta just fighting, and then they gain a stat boost. I don't know what the stat comparison is, I just know Zacian gets way stronger.
Yeah.
And then they gain steel typing. And Ironhead turns into Behemoth Blade and Behemoth Bash, respectively.
Yeah, which I think everyone knows from doing max raid battles online.
Yeah.
Nibs pointing out the speed also changes. So here on the first turn, we see both opt to bring out their Fire-type Intimidators with the Arcanine and the Torracat, as we see the nicknames in this game. Adam's sporting some great nicknames in White Kitty and Drillclaw.
Yeah, and then we have Lapras and Excadrill's the opposite. I don't know if Adam's going to want to try and like maybe parting shot into the Tyranitar or just hard switch into it to get the speed control. He looks like he's just Dynamaxing right away.
Yeah. Opting for a -1 intimidated Excadrill to go ahead and Dynamax here. Perhaps trying to guess into... I mean, I'd be a little afraid of a Lumberry here. I mean, I would have been afraid of a Will-O-Wisp coming out from that Arcanine, but perhaps revealing that he might be Lumberry on this Excadrill.
Yeah, it could be. So maybe he's just not afraid of taking a Will-O-Wisp. Will did switch out the Arcanine into the Amoonguss, so I think he, at the very least, it doesn't look like he's going to be losing a Pokemon this turn. Lapras Dynamaxing, presumably it's just going to go for the Resonance. It may take a Snarl in the process, so it might do a little... there's the parting shot.
Coming right out.
That's a pretty gutsy move. So my guess would either be that Torracat is Scarfed, which seems a bit unlikely, or that the Excadrill has something like a Lumberry, or Adam was just like, nah, he doesn't have Will-O-Wisp.
Yeah, exactly. So here we see the Zamazenta come out with the Dauntless Shield. If this is a Max Geyser into the Zamazenta, it's going to take it quite well.
Yeah, Rockball coming out, gonna set the Sandstorm up. That's one way for the Excadrill to get its own speed control, and the weather in its favor. So, but it doesn't do too much to that Amoonguss. Resonance comes out, and that doesn't do a lot, which leads me to believe that as a bulkier sword stance Excadrill, it may not have Protect if it has Rockfall, but normally the bulkier sets also have sword stance.
Yeah, it could potentially be a weakness policy set here as well. I know a lot of the bulkier ones opt to... Oh, hey, Zaid! Thanks for raiding us! How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Y'all made it just in time for our very first of the Battle of Legends. So, welcome everyone to the ATX VGC Monday Night Friendlies. We host these friendlies every Monday night, where we have somewhere between 3 and 4 best of 3s. We all joined at the perfect time here as the very first one. Hey, Professor Ragna, how's it going? How was the stream tonight, Zaid?
Looks like Will's just going to cycle some more Intimidate, switch the Arcanine out for the Amoonguss. Not going to worry too much about Sporing or anything like that. Excadrill going for another max Rockfall, potentially into the Lapras. He may be doubling it this turn, which makes me very much believe that it has... Oh, and then Close Combat come out. Doesn't do too much, but it's a nice solid chunk. The defenses are going to drop on Zamazenta, meaning it's back to neutral defense and -1 special defense. Guy's just going to come out, change the weather to... Ooh, that does a lot.
Ooh, it did a lot. It does manage to hold on, but the weather has now changed. This is a -2 Excadrill. Thanks for the follow, JJR.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Yeah, welcome to the Monday Night Friendlies.
Which means that even though the rain is up, I would say that this Excadrill is probably still in range of a Flamethrower or Flare Blitz from the Arcanine. It's really, really low. Oh, and the Life of Day just followed. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks so much.
So much happening.
Yeah.
So it looks like momentum's going a little bit in Will's favor. He's got a lot of damage on the...
Substitute coming out from the Zamazenta.
That's cool. Flamethrower is going to get the pick up the KO on the Excadrill. And
Maggie M, thanks so much for the cheer.
Oh, thanks, Maggie.
Yeah, that's my wonderful girlfriend, everyone.
Geyser's going to come out with the -1 special defense, the Life Orb, and the Rain Boost. I feel very confident that is going to break the substitute. But on the plus side, Adam takes way less damage from that than he normally would have. Like
exactly.
That could have knocked out the Zamazenta. But he gets to keep his Zamazenta, and we get to see a cool trick.
Yeah. Very cool stuff. So everyone, if y'all are new and this is your first time, we typically do VGC battles, but tonight we're actually showcasing the Battle of Legends, the upcoming official tournament by Pokemon. We decided Series 6 has had a nice long run. Let's throw everyone a bone and try out a different format for a night, as we are all highly anticipating Series 7. So that is why you see a Zamazenta on the screen, and you might just see a Zacian come out from Sir Wilson's side of the field later on this game.
Torcat goes for a fake out, wants to stop Arcanine from doing anything. Close combat with the chip from earlier and the Dynamax being gone is definitely going to pick up the KO. And that's a really solid turn for Adam. And actually with the rain up, Will has helped his Zamazenta be more defensive. But
here comes Zacian.
Zacian.
Yeah, so now the Zamazenta is at -1 defense after 2 close combats on the field. It's also at -1 attack, given the fact that it has been intimidated by this Arcanine. If I am Adam, I might think about trying to switch this out and reposition it.
I don't know who's faster than the other one. I would assume Zacian is.
Yeah.
Zamazenta is going to go ahead and switch out. He doesn't want to lose it. I have a feeling this might be the Ditto.
It's the Ditto, yeah. So this is a super interesting tech. You were talking about this earlier. You want to talk a little bit more about it?
Pick up the Zacian, yes. Okay, so Zacian turns into Ditto turns into Zacian, gets the attack boost Jar had. Intrepid's sword is going to increase its attack even more. It barely hangs on from the close combat though.
Yeah, and now the Zacian, Sir Wilson's, and it gets the Will-O-Wisp off.
That was a really, really good double up.
Yeah, really well played there. So we see the Torcat go for the parting shot here to go ahead and drop that Zacian's physical attack back down to neutral, negating the Intrepid Sword.
Yes. Ditto Zacian goes back down to neutral. Zacian's still very, very strong, and presumably it has something like a choice scarf, so I wouldn't be surprised if it could still pick up a KO onto the Arcanine at least.
Yeah, especially with Aurora Veil wearing off, yeah.
This turn.
Yeah, so I think that this Ditto is going to have the ability, it's at +2, so it's going to be able to pick up kind of whatever KO it wants, unless it maybe goes for close combat into a switching in Amoonguss. Or it catches a Protect from the Zacian. I suppose that Adam would have that information about whether or not Zacian is carrying Protect because he's now copied it. But super interesting set right here. We see Adam having both of the legendary dogs on one side of the field.
Will Zacian is just going to go for a Protect. I like that little bow animation. That was sick.
Yeah.
Close combat going to come out into the Zacian, the Protected. I agree with the move. It's just kind of unfortunate they got the Protect off. And Zamazenta is going to successfully set up a Substitute, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. So notably, the rain also ends here. Is it going to... Oh, no, it's not enough to hang on with the burn. Yeah, so very cool tech prepared by Adam. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see it come to fruition. He does now have a Zamazenta at +1 defense, sitting behind a Substitute. So it's going to be able to eat one attack from this Zacian regardless. And now the Zacian is at, what, -1? Because it's
just -1 now, because it didn't take the Intimidate, I believe.
Yeah, it just took the parting shot into this Intimidate here, so... But yeah, it might be a good time for Sir Wilson to go ahead and switch this out now that this Torcat is stuck on the field. Adam not being able to cycle Intimidate anymore.
Yeah, I'm just excited to see Substitute in general. It's a really hard move to run right now because of like how crazy offensive anything is, but I do like this kind of late game Substitute thing that Adam has set up.
Yeah. And it doesn't affect, it's not affected by Intimidate as well. It's one of the interactions that, because we don't see it very much in VGC.
Yeah, in 2020 right now. Torcat goes for the fake out. Zamazenta may be going for a close combat into what was the Zacian. Does a really solid amount of damage.
Yeah.
I believe that's within berry range if Will has a pinch berry on his Arcanine. He does, in fact.
So this is going to help the Arcanine get back up over half health with that Mago Berry. Magoo Berry? How do you say that?
Mago.
Mago, okay.
Yeah, but it looks like it's definitely within range of another close combat, and I don't know how much a Overheat is going to do to this Amoonguss, or like a Heat Wave, or it could even be Burning Jealousy, I don't know. I don't think that Adam's going to be able to take care of the Amoonguss this turn, but on the plus side, it doesn't look like anything can break his sub, and you can't Spore a Substitute.
Yeah, exactly. So we actually just see the Torcat opt for the Will-O-Wisp, perhaps revealing he is far more supportive than offensive here, having we've seen Fake Out, we've seen Parting Shot.
Fake Out, Parting Shot, Will-O-Wisp.
Yeah.
And we don't know what its damaging move is yet.
Yeah, or if it has it. I don't believe that one of the moves that Torcat doesn't get access to is Snarl. It doesn't have access to most of the Dark-type moves, with the exception of Parting Shot. But, yeah, so that is one thing to kind of keep in mind. So now, with the Torcat asleep, Will is super free here just to go ahead and switch in the Zacian.
But Adam's still free to just pick up the KO on Arcanine with a close combat. I'm pretty sure it's within range based on how much the first one did. Yeah, close combat comes out into the Arcanine. It does go down. And Adam, even though he's at -1 defense, -2 special defense, he still has his sub, so...
Yeah, I think that the real issue here is going to end up being the fact that the Amoonguss is going to come back onto the field and have access to redirection. Being able to go ahead and go for a Spore and direct away... it's going to allow the Zacian to have its 2 turns to go ahead and pick up the KO onto Zamazenta, especially now that we've seen that this Torcat doesn't seem to be carrying a move like, say, Overheat, unless it was saving it for the Zacian.
Yeah, I'd say that Will's safest move is to just is to just rage powder attack, because I imagine that. So you probably need a couple more turns of sleeps on the. Oh, okay. So Zacian's just gonna go for a close combat. That is gonna break the substitute. Maybe he doubled it like with a close combat and a spore. I believe is this the first turn of sleep from the Torcat? I keep forgetting its name.
Yeah, Torcat. No, we've already seen it take its mandatory sleep. So
dang.
Yeah, Zacian actually lives that close combat. And Torcat unfortunately stays asleep another turn. And well played by Will here, right? Going with the spore into the Zamazenta. And I think at this point, it's going to be pretty tough for Adam to go ahead and bounce back.
Yeah, so I do really like the tech behind the substitute thing, because in order for a Zacian to break it, which is something that can theoretically beat the Zamazenta, you have to close combat it, which lowers your defenses, which definitely makes the close combat a 2-hit KO, and potentially it was even just a roll. It did a lot. We'll go in for the Torcat first. I'd say that's a smart move. Oh, the crit. I'm not entirely sure if that mattered or not. Zacian's +1 and really strong.
Yeah, I don't think that mattered. Yeah, I think that was pretty much the best possible play, since the Zamazenta had not taken its mandatory turn of sleep. You know that you're faster. You can just opt to go ahead and target down the opponent or the partner to the Zamazenta and not have to worry about taking an attack from it.
Yeah, and it definitely looks like Adam doesn't really have a way out of this situation.
And we see Will go ahead and here go for the meme, going for the Behemoth Blade.
I love this animation. It's so sick.
It is very good.
Style points.
Getting the style points as we see Sir Wilson take game 1 here in set 1 of the ATX VGC Monday Night Friendlies, our very first ever Battle of Legends. It will not be our last, though. We spoiler for our third match tonight, we're going to see another Battle of Legends. I've seen advanced copies of both teams. We are not going to be seeing a repeat of Zacian versus Zamazenta, so that'll be really exciting, and y'all should hang around for that later.
Well, in the chat, one legendary Santak goes, hey, he is abiding by the rules. He only has one legendary on his team.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
He could get 2, but he does have only the 1.
Yeah, having that Ditto, I think, is such a cool tech. Unfortunately, Sir Wilson called it perfectly, being able to get both the close combat and the Will-O-Wisp into it. So we didn't get to see that Zacian the Ditto Zacian really take off in the last game. Perhaps it's something that Adam can reposition around this next game.
Yeah, so I really like this idea of a substitute Zamazenta, especially with Excadrill. This isn't something that Adam had the chance to go for last game, but theoretically he can boost Zacian's already really high defense with like Steel Spikes and Quakes from Excadrill, and behind the substitute just kind of spam close combats and not take too much on drops. I'd be really interested to see him go for something like that. I really like this set a lot. It just seemed like Will was able to position himself just a little bit better right at the end there.
Yeah, I think right now the biggest benefit that Will has is that Adam only has really one special attacker. So he's pretty free to bring that Arcanine and have it be a super key, important part of whatever battle plan.
Yeah.
And no, say, like, Sir Wilson's Braviary to dissuade an Intimidator.
Okay, so let's see if anyone goes for any changes during game 2. Adam might want to like just bring the Tyranitar so he has easier way to get the. Okay, so it is Excadrill and Starmie.
Yeah.
Very interested in that, as well as Arcanine and Lapras.
This Starmie right away puts a lot of pressure onto that Arcanine, which I think was pretty key to Sir Wilson's win last time around, being able to cycle those Intimidates kind of consistently.
Do you know anything about Starmie, Gemma?
So, I know it's a special attacker, I know it's a water psychic type, and I know it has been in every game, more or less, that I've played in Pokemon since the beginning. I've never used Starmie competitively. I know it gets access to things like Bolt Beam, that's one of the draws of it. I think it has a relatively high base special attack as well.
Is it fast? Think that is it faster than Arcanine? I don't know anything about Starmie.
Let's double check. If y'all happen to know a whole lot about Starmie.
Looks like we got a Dynamax coming from Adam, potentially the Excadrill again,
it is
or maybe even the
115
Starmie.
base speed.
Oh, that is fast.
It is incredibly fast. So perhaps.
Weirdly, it has analytic though.
So it can hit super hard.
So Excadrill is going to go ahead and Dynamax again. Potentially going to try and get a Quake off or another Rock Fall to try and set the weather in their favor. Will stayed in with his Arcanine this time. Potentially we're going to find out if it is Lumberry, or he may just go for something like he may just go like aggressively after that Excadrill and do something like Flamethrower and Max Geyser into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no idea what Starmie is going to do.
Me neither, but if it's able to potentially... Flip turn.
Flip turn weakness policy!
Very cool. Very cool strat right here. A special attacker going
is he going to go into the Tyranitar?
Oh, that's a genius play. Oh my gosh, wait.
Come on, Adam.
Yeah,
Come on, Adam.
Oh, it goes into Zamazenta. Okay, that would have been a great play going into it and just wiping the Arcanine or the Lapras off the field first. So here the Flamethrower does come out, does a lot of damage into that. But actually, this might just go ahead and take the... I don't know, he's going for the Arcanine. I was wondering if he was perhaps going for the Lapras, trying to take it out before it had access to setting the screens for the game.
Lapras, I would say, can survive a +1 Rock Fall from Excadrill.
Yeah.
Stab makes quite a difference.
Yeah, it really does. So here the Max Resonance is not going to be able to pick up the KO into the Excadrill, so it will live for... I spoke too soon. Was that a...
It got it.
It did not do 50% last time. Was that a crit?
I don't think
no?
so.
No? Okay.
I mean, he may have just gotten a higher roll.
Yeah, I think it was a low roll into a high roll there, because I was like, it didn't do near 50% last time.
Funnily enough, I think that the flip turn from the Starmie may have put it in range from both of those attacks.
Yeah, exactly. So very cool tech from Adam. Unfortunately, I think it's ended up being to the detriment there. I think if the Tyranitar had come out on that play and had been able to go ahead and set the speed order,
got like a max Quake and get a special defense boost.
Yeah, like been able to take the Arcanine off the field, the max Quake, into a special defense boost, I think it would have lived.
Spec Starmie would be really cool, Nibs. I'd be into that.
Yeah, I don't think it has to be Scarf to be faster than Excadrill. At 115 base speed on the Starmie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Adam's really in a lot rougher of a position now. He has to survive. Yeah, I like that. Just a humble little bow. Ally Switch.
Ally Switch coming out from the Starmie now. Playing some of the mind games.
Close combat into the protect.
Yep, not going to do a whole lot. This Max Geyser here, though, going into a Starmie as opposed to the Zamazenta, I think it still does a lot of damage.
It does a lot, but you still survive to potentially play more Ally Switch mind games.
Yep, or be the fastest thing on the field with access to now rain boosted, potentially fishing for a Scald Burn onto that Zacian, which would be, I think, pretty devastating for Will.
Yeah, but I don't know. Adam's still in a pretty rough position. Like, Lapras is putting on a lot of pressure. He doesn't have a quick way through it. He has one more turn of Dynamax to get up. I don't think that Zamazenta has Protect. I think it only has Substitute.
Yeah.
And with, like, the pressure of something like a close combat and a Geyser going into the Zamazenta, it may just be, like, a little too much. Zacian, however, is going to go ahead and switch out for the Amoonguss, offer some redirection support. Starmie's just going to hard switch out and come in with
Ditto. Ditto trying to get the strat. Yeah, unfortunately, is now just gonna be a slightly faster Amoonguss as opposed to a faster.
Zacian does get a substitute up, but it's probably gonna be broken this turn, which
it's not a bad trade here. Taking less damage than he might otherwise have, only 25% as opposed to however much a Max Geyser in the rain might have done.
He does have redirection and sleep pressure now. He'll have to commit to one of the two options, but he has that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Incredibly free here to go for a
substitute pretty easily.
Yeah, he could substitute and Spore right into that Lapras.
It depends on how fast the Amoonguss is. He may be able to... He could even just, like, redirect whatever the Lapras does and then, like, close combat it and, like, try to stall out the turns. Him getting that Amoonguss may actually be very helpful.
Yeah, I know at first we were a little sad that
it's tricky to play.
Yeah,
I am sad that he didn't get the Zacian. Would have been nice to see both the dogs game, but I'd say he has a pretty easy. I'd be wondering if a Scarfed Amoonguss is faster than Will's Lapras, which would heavily influence how I decide to play this next turn.
Yeah, so looking at the Amoonguss, we see that it's not the event Amoonguss. There's no guarantee that it is, in fact, 0 speed, like the shiny event Amoonguss that everyone had access to. Oh, it is faster.
Ooh,
Gets the Spore off. And it's now going to completely invalidate what this Amoonguss wanted to do this turn. As well as stall out turns of the Aurora Veil here.
Yeah, and Spore can't go into the substitute, and Amoonguss is immune to it, so now he has to try to break the substitute with Energy Ball.
Which, at neutral, I don't think is going to happen.
Yeah, and do you stay in with the Amoonguss here? Do you just, like, keep sporing things until something happens? Apparently not.
Yeah.
But I imagine that a close combat is going to come into the Lapras. I think that Will should probably just start redirecting things until... Ooh, dang.
Oh, wow.
No, dang. Wow, that Aurora Veil is really helping out. That special defense drop is going to make things a little bit easier
and
for...
Lapras gets the one-turn
wake.
Wow.
Tragic.
So that should be enough after the special defense drop to go ahead and break the substitute on the Zamazenta here.
It does go down to its own life orb.
It's true, yeah. And now the Energy Ball into the -1 Spit F Zamazenta. Still not really doing a ton, but getting some good chip off. The Aurora Veil is also now notably gone, and Adam can bring this Ditto back out pretty freely and just copy the boost. He does have to recognize that Will's going to have to be expecting that move after last time.
Yeah, Zamazenta's in KO range. We saw how much a close combat did to Ditto on the switch in. It did survive. It's taken a little bit of chip damage though.
Yeah, so it's going to be really close.
He could go for something like a switch and an ally switch. I'd say he's not out of the game yet, but it's going to be really tricky, and I think he's going to need a little bit of luck.
Yeah, he's going to have to... I think that Adam's going to have to make some gutsy calls and potentially make some 50-50 reads here. So we see the Ditto come back out here. It's going to go ahead and copy the Zacian because that is what it's across from. So it's now going to be a +2 with the Zacian.
It takes the Intrepid Sword boost and copies it, the one that his Zacian already had. Play Rough comes out. I don't think that's going to KO. He's at half health now.
Yeah.
And Starmie goes for Psychic
into him. Oh, that does a lot of damage into Amoonguss. Amoonguss offs for the Spore into the Starmie here.
Spore into Starmie.
Good play.
And now it's a bit of a mind game because Will has a few options. He could Rage Powder. I think he either has to Rage Powder and an attack with Zacian, or he has to protect Zacian and Spore.
Yeah.
I really think that Rage Powder is the better move. The
thing is, do you lose your Amoonguss to Rage Powder here? Like, I know that...
You lose the Amoonguss to Rage Powder, but is Adam able to get through the rest... Is Adam able to get through the Zacian without his own Zacian?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, that's a good question. I think it comes down to how many turns of sleep the Starmie ends up taking.
I think what would be a really, really, like, the worst play that Will could go for would be Sporing an attack. Like, that, because if Adam targets the Zacian and he loses it, and his Zacian could potentially 1v2 Zamazenta and Starmie, but...
Revealing... Is it perhaps not Scarf? Or did it just go for a Scarf Protect?
Did it? I'm very confused now.
Potentially trying to stall out some turns, trying to get the Starmie back awake so that it can finish off the Amoonguss before maybe re-switching everything around.
He's going to sack his Zamazenta and try to get the Starmie to wake up to KO the Amoonguss.
I think that's what's going on.
To go for his Zacian versus the Zamazenta endgame.
Yeah.
I think that's what Adam's playing for, which is really smart, to be honest.
Yeah, and seeing a Scarf Protect is never something you really expect, but do we see? Yep, we see the withdrawal.
He switches out and sacks Zamazenta.
Wow, this is really... this is an incredible...
If he gets the one-turn wake, I think Adam wins. Dauntless Shield triggers, which with how low that Zamazenta is, I don't think it's going to be any form of helpful. Will Rage Powders again. I think that's the exact same play that I would go for. Zacian goes for Play Rough into the Zamazenta, not wanting to take any defense drops. Zamazenta goes down. Does Starmie get the one-turn wake?
It doesn't. Now the only question is do you think if it wakes up next turn...
does it have a move that can KO the Zacian?
Yeah, this is really coming down to sleep turns, and I think that Sir Wilson getting that very nice one-turn wake with his Lapras helped him out a lot here, and I'm sure Adam is really pulling through for this Starmie to go ahead and wake up this turn.
Yes. He went for... I don't know what exactly the odds of getting a one-turn wake up, but I really like that play a lot. That was a very smart move. I never would have even thought about doing that at all.
Yeah, that was super heads up.
Yeah. It just never even occurred to me until I was like, wait, why would he protect? Like, now he's locked into that and he can't do anything. So now, close combat's gonna come. Oh, Will didn't Rage Powder!
No Rage Powder! Oh my gosh. He's just gonna be going for the Spore here.
Yeah.
I think that's the wrong play.
and
Starmie gets to wake up into the Psychic.
Oh no!
Wow. Incredible play by Adam Santakos there.
Oh man.
Wow.
That was an amazing endgame. I'm hyped. That was sick.
Yeah, I mean, we're already seeing some of these things that might be playing out over the next, we'll say in 2 years, year and a half, whenever we see the the GS Cup come out and have these legendaries available for us in VGC. I think there's some really interesting strategies given, I think that Ditto might, I think Adam's onto something with Ditto here.
Hey, it's a good, especially with potential things like Magearna being running around for it. Ditto's not entirely a bad choice.
Yeah. The other thing I think that could be interesting with these two is, sorry, I had the wrong music there. The other thing I think that could be really interesting with these two is if anyone has access to a priority psych up where you're able to copy the stat boost of the Pokemon, I think that could be a very interesting tech going down the line.
Yeah. Magearna's not that fast, right? It's like base 80 speed.
Yeah, Magearna's slow. Magearna operates best in Trick Room. And for this format, we recognize like mythicals will be allowed for Battle of the Legends, but that's not going to be the case in VGC 2021.
Yeah. Yeah, it's base 65 speed, which is like kind of a mediocre speed stat, but way slower for when you're going against like other legendary Pokemon.
Yeah, I believe Chase's exact words were just run Trick Room Magearna and you'll win the tournament.
Okay, so now we're going into game 3 because Adam made a really, really like intense end game happen in his favor. Going again with the Excadrill Starmie lead. I would really love it if he brought Tyranitar this time, but I think I understand why he isn't. He really wants like the Ditto and the Sand. Oh wait, Will led Amoonguss this time.
Yeah, so you're not at. It's potentially this Excadrill will be at +2 as opposed to just +1 and able to deal out more damage to this Lapras here.
Yeah, I think a +2 max Rockfall from Excadrill can KO a Lapras.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the Amoonguss is sitting right there and has the ability to redirect any kind of damage.
It can also, it can redirect the potential flip turn self proc.
Exactly, yeah. So if you're Adam, you have to be way more careful about it. A good pickup by Will this game, recognizing how dangerous that could be.
Yeah. So Will going for it looks like Adam isn't Dynamaxing this turn. That's very interesting. So Will going for the Dynamax onto the Lapras. I'm very curious as to what Adam opted to go for.
I think we might be seeing a Protect here.
Yeah, that would make the most sense to me.
Yeah, trying to bait a Max Geyser. Yep.
Yeah, Drill Call goes for Protect. I think the Starmie's probably going to go for a Psychic and try to get rid of this Amoonguss as soon as it possibly can, because it has been troubling Adam a lot. Yeah, he went for the Psychic.
Yeah, I think that this turn turns out really well for Adam Sandakis. He's gonna be taking a lot of damage.
A lot of damage, yeah.
But he's gonna have his weakness policy procced, and he's still faster and can opt for like an Earthquake.
Yeah. He can.
Or even Psychic Max Quake. Or Max Psychic Max Rockfall, I mean.
Yeah, I think that. So Will could switch in his Arcanine and try to manage the Excadrill some. But the thing is, I think that Lapras goes down to a +2 Rockfall. So, and this is where it's kind of scary. And do you try to force the redirection? Normally, whenever I play something like Togekiss, I'll try to go for an attack that into the partner Pokemon that Togekiss does not want to take to punish something like a Protect. Mm-hmm. It's a lot harder with a Moongus, because if you ignore Moongus, he puts you to sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that Adam kind of has to make a read as to what Will is going to do. And if he gets it right, it could be a really, really big shift in momentum for him.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Sharpedo, how's it going? Welcome to the stream.
Hello. Yeah, and also the staggering of Dynamax turns works out really well for Will.
Yeah.
Or for Adam.
Yeah,
sorry.
For Adam.
Now he has a potential of max guarding or attacking and then max guarding, maybe trying to get a special defense boost.
Yeah, notably the Aurora Veil isn't up yet here.
Amoonguss goes for Protect, which is very interesting. Starmie goes for an Ally Switch.
Also very interesting.
Okay. I think he's going for the Lapras then. I think he was trying to cover the options. Yeah, here comes the Max Rockfall. I think this is going to be into Lapras, and I don't know if it'll survive it.
It lives on 9 HP. Wow.
But if it didn't go for Geyser, it's going to faint to the sand.
Yeah. And it'll go down to its life orb regardless. Resonance. Yep, it'll go down to its life orb regardless, I think here.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that was life orb Lapras.
So sand is going to be the weather for the rest of the game here.
Which means that's Excadrill is now going to be the fastest thing on the field. It's at +2. Amoonguss is super low.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a bit of a hard thing for Will to navigate. It's basically the reverse of the position that Adam was in last turn. He lost his Dynamax turn 1 after not being able to do enough with it, and I think Will kind of ended up in the same position. He did manage to get the resonance up, which is going to be very helpful, but I don't know how good that is going to be for him.
Yeah.
Also, Zacian's super strong, so who knows? It may just be able to take out this Excadrill.
Yeah, if I'm Adam, I might be opting for a Max Guard Psychic here.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
try to get rid of the redirection.
Yeah, get rid of the redirection because you're faster than this Zacian for however much longer. So we don't see the Max Guard come out. We do see the Rage Powder here, which probably means that this Excadrill is going to be KOing the Amoonguss with Max Quake here into Starmie getting an attack off into the Zacian.
Yeah, it's hard to go for the Steel Spike in that scenario. If you were targeting the Zacian, you don't know if it KOs with the Veil up, because no one really knows Zacian calcs right now. Close combat is enough to get the KO on it, but now it's at -1 special defense, -1 defense.
And it's going to stay like that for the rest of the game because it has no access to switching out.
But
Ditto will also copy those drops.
Ditto will copy that. Psychic's going to come out.
Not doing a whole lot.
Yeah, no, not really. I guess it is a resisted hit. Zacian's not the fighting type.
Yeah, it's just a Steel Fairy, so 1 times resist there. So we see the Zamazenta come out here. Probably going to opt to try I don't know. Do you think you just go for the close combat here?
Something funny that I don't know if Will notice, but he doesn't need to worry about ally switch mind games because he doesn't want his Zamazenta to go down, and if he ally switches, then his Ditto will come into the spot and copy the Arcanine.
Exactly.
So this is going to be a really interesting next couple of turns. He just hard switches. That's a really risky play, I think. He may not have realized about the defense drops that have happened.
I mean, it's possible, but also that defense drop goes the other way as well. If this Zacian has to use a close combat to KO the opposing Zacian, it's not going to want to get a close combat from the Zamazenta.
Will decides to protect his Zacian this turn, which means Zamazenta goes
gets
for
a
the
substitute. Wow.
And Arcanine goes for a flamethrower into the substitute. This should be enough to break it. But now Adam has the Scarfed +2 Zacian on his side.
Against a -1's defense.
-1 defense, yeah. I think he's really good to just go for like another substitute in a close combat into Zacian. Will honestly might want to go for a double protect this turn.
Yeah. That's never a position you really want to be in, where you're relying on a move that is only happens 1/3 of the time, but it has the ability to swing, and if that's your highest percentage play, that's your highest percentage play.
Yeah.
So, he opts for it.
The double protect. He does not get it.
Yeah. So
this close combat comes into the Zacian.
That's enough to KO. Yeah.
And now Arcanine just kind of can't do enough against these two.
Yeah. I think that this should probably go ahead and seal it unless I don't know. Is there any way that the Arcanine can claw back? And flamethrower is super effective.
Probably pick out the KO this turn.
Yeah.
But there's also a Starmie in the back. Zamazenta's behind the substitute, so he has to hit it at least twice to KO it. And in that meantime, I don't know if that Starmie has something like a Scald. It has Flip Turn, which is not going to do that much because it's not a physical attacker.
Yeah.
But presumably it has a special water attack.
Yeah, and we've seen so far Flip Turn, we've seen Ally Switch, we have seen Psychic, so even a Psychic here is going to be doing some decent damage here.
Will's just going to protect and try to scout out. Maybe Starmie's move will miss. Close combat definitely won't, though.
It has Hydro Pump, which can miss.
Can miss. But the issue is, I think that close combat's a 2-hit KO on the Arcanine, and the Aurora Veil just went down too, so that's not good either. I think maybe if you live the close combat, you crit a Snarl onto the Zamazenta with the special defense drop, and it breaks the sub. Close combat isn't a 2-hit KO, and you dodge.
Isn't that a resisted hit though?
It is a resisted hit. That's why I think he would have to crit it in order for this to happen.
I'm not even sure a -2 crit Snarl is getting it here.
Yeah. And I think you'd have to double crit with it to pick up the KO onto the Starmie, but Hydro Pump connects, and that's just going to be the KO onto Arcanine.
Yeah, so here in our very first Battle of Legends on the ATX VGC Monday Night Friendlies, we got to see the Sword Doggo versus the Shield Doggo. And ironically enough, the Shield Doggo, which everyone I think has been kind of discounting compared to Zacian, comes away with the win. I think that Ditto had a lot to do with that, though.
Yeah, I was about to say, in the defense of Zamazenta, it also had the aid of the Zacian to beat the Zacian.
Yeah. So with that, we're going to jump real quick to our BRB screen, and we'll be back with our second match tonight, which is actually going to be me versus White Tigers in our Series 6 battle of the night. So give us 1 sec while I get all of our feed reset, and we'll be right back.
Hey, you like that video? We think you should check this out, and YouTube thinks you should check this one out. And be sure to subscribe for more content.